Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're diving into some bizarre events. To make the nurse shut up, Little Chicken decided to teach her a lesson, not realizing he was already being targeted. Among the 3 photos on the wall, 2 were marked as dangerous, and the one in the middle was Little Chicken. When Little Chicken got back to the parking lot, he was shocked to find the lights flickering wildly. He felt a chill and started scanning around, wondering who's hiding here. Just then, his daughter appeared. Talk about a divine intervention. Although the little girl messed up the killer's plans, the killer wasn't giving up and sneaked into Little Chicken's house at midnight. But the police had been lurking around, ready to catch the killer red-handed. Upon hearing Little Chicken was hurt, Yulan was devastated. Based on Little Chicken's description, Old Wan went back to the knife shop and the owner had a mischievous grin. That knife is specifically designed for cutting pork, the owner said confidently, without hesitation. Old Wang thought to himself, I got to see this shop owner. Upon entering, Old Wang noticed a knife on the wall that looked exactly like the killer's. He couldn't believe it. Could such a beautiful woman really be a murderer? A knife worth 68,000 yuan. That was a bit outrageous. 68,000 yuan? Old Wang frowned, thinking that was way out of his budget. Just as the owner was about to get busy with her tasks, Old Wang suddenly noticed she was limping on her right leg. What a coincidence. To uncover the truth, Old Wang decided to ask her out for a meal. He was quite famous for it. Of course, Old Wang was generous. A plate of apples was quite practical. The owner munched on her apples proudly, while outsiders had no idea of the contrast to calm. When the gaze is locked, Old Wang could no longer contain his curiosity and it spilled over. He cautiously lifted her skirt, and there it was, a bandage on her thigh. Old Wang simply couldn't believe his eyes. The woman he was utterly smitten with was indeed a killer. The boss lady felt a sudden pang in her heart and instantly transformed from an aloof ice queen to a charming softie. Meanwhile, at the hospital, another killer emerged, easily dealing with the security guard. This killer, instead of striking immediately, chose to sedate Little Chicken with a tranquilizer. Old Wang was feeling anxious and frantic, eagerly wanting to rush over to the pork shop to find the shop owner. The media was swirling around, while Old Wang was being scolded at the police station. Yet Old Wang was secretly thrilled. It seemed he was totally in the clear. After some contemplation, he drove straight back to the pork shop. After engaging in some playful conversation, Old Wang resumed his intense and relentless pursuit. Meanwhile, Little Chicken was in serious trouble, tightly tied up in a dim and harsh slaughterhouse. With his hands and feet tightly bound, he desperately struggled to no avail, and the sense of defeat crept over him silently. Just then, a familiar old lady from the pork shop appeared. Following closely behind her was a burly woman, making the situation increasingly intricate. The old lady gave the female killer a signal, and she responded instantly, springing into action like lightning. 3 seconds later, every artery would be severed, and Little Chicken would be in extreme agony. The old lady leaned in and revealed something Little Chicken had said 10 years ago. Little Chicken suddenly had an epiphany, realizing that the old lady was indeed the girl he had met 10 years ago. Shockingly enough, Little Chicken was feeling an intense rush, reminiscing about his past misdeeds with passion. As the knife sliced, the chaos continued, leaving no pulse behind. Going wild with abandon, the old lady was intent on savoring and enjoying every moment of it. She cunningly swallowed Little Chicken's hospital gown, aiming to plunge him into the abyss of despair slowly. The revenge plan finally reached its end as the perpetrator of 10 years ago faced his grim fate. The old lady dropped her disguise, shocking everyone with her identity. She unexpectedly turned out to be the renowned Yulan. Talk about an unexpected twist. The killer's identity continued to remain a mystery, leaving everyone in suspense and curiosity. Upon Old Wang's personal arrival at the scene, he fully realized that the entire situation had become quite complicated. Could there be more than one killer? He pondered, growing increasingly confused.